My name is Lourdes Alvarez, and I'm humbled by the opportunity to serve as the chair of the Chelsea Women's Commission. All of the members and I feel extremely grateful to host you at our first public events since the creation of the Commission. While some members could not be here in person today, they expressed their deep gratitude for your presence today. Today is a day of commemoration, a day of resistance. It's a day to honor the women who have fought tireless through the history, women who have pushed for equality, justice, and freedom. The roots of this day stretch back to early 19th century, to brave women who paved the way for the progress we have seen today. Yet, while we have made significant progress, the struggle is far from over. Today, we face new challenges, and the progress we have worked so far to achieve is under threat. Recent Trump administration actions threaten to undo much of this progress, including massive deportation and providing tax breaks to ultra-wealthy folks, the majority all men, all at the expenses of the suffering of our communities. These policies not only undermine the values of equality and freedom, but also pose a real threat to the stability of our families and communities. Today is also a day of visibility. We live here, we are here, and we want to be here. Women and girls live in Chelsea, and here we are, representing ourselves and our diversity. We will share our stories and our backgrounds, connect and show everyone in the community that representation is not just a symbol. It is a tool for social transformation and for building equitable communities with possibilities for all. So today, it's also a day for possibilities and inspiration. It is a reflection of possibilities, achievable dreams, and a future in which all voices are valued. It's a day to celebrate the resistance and the strength of women everywhere. We are still fighting, and together we are stronger. I also want to remind everyone that the personal, it's political. The personal, it's political. It's everyone's fight. It's everyone's cause. The future of the upcoming generations, the generation of our children, it's a risk. There is no place for change if we are not part of the collective effort to build better social conditions for everyone. So all members, we are humbled to stand today in front of you and ask for your support to the Chelsea's Women's Commission. We need you to stand with us, to join our advocacy, to fight for the future where every woman, every family, every girl, everyone in Chelsea has the opportunities to thrive. We will not only continue to build our progress, we will make it together. Let's continue. Let's continue to be the force for change. Let us continue to make our voices heard, and let us continue to build a better future for everyone. So thank you. I'll do it in Spanish. Buenos días a todos y a todas. Mi nombre es Lourdes Álvarez y me siento honrada por la oportunidad de servir como la presidenta de la Comisión de Mujeres de Chelsea. Quienes formamos parte de la comisión nos sentimos sumamente agradecidas de recibirlas y recibirlos a todos en nuestro primer evento público desde la creación de la comisión. Si bien algunos miembros no pudieron estar aquí en persona, expresan su profunda gratitud por su presencia hoy. Hoy es un día de conmemoración, hoy es un día de resistencia, es un día para honrar a las mujeres que han luchado incansablemente a lo largo de la historia, mujeres que han luchado por igualdad, por la justicia, por la libertad. Las raíces de este día se conmemoran desde el principio del siglo XX y hoy celebramos a aquellas mujeres valientes que allanaron el camino para el progreso que vemos hoy. Sin embargo, si bien hemos logrado un progreso significativo, la lucha está lejos por terminar. Hoy nos enfrentamos a nuevos desafíos y el progreso por el que hemos trabajado tan duro está siendo amenazado. Las recientes acciones de la administración de Donald Trump amenazan con deshacer gran parte de ese progreso, incluyendo la deportación masiva y la concesión de exenciones contributivas a los ultramillonarios, casi todos hombres, y todos ellos a expensas del sufrimiento de nuestras comunidades. Estas políticas no solo socavan los valores de igualdad y de libertad, sino también plantean una amenaza real a la estabilidad de nuestras familias y nuestras comunidades. Así que hoy también es un día de visibilidad. Hoy estamos aquí, nosotras vivimos aquí y no nos vamos. Las mujeres y las niñas de Chelsea aquí estamos, representándonos a nosotras mismas y a nuestra diversidad. Compartiremos nuestras historias, nos conectaremos y mostraremos a todas en la comunidad que la representación no solo es un símbolo, sino también es una herramienta para la transformación social y para construir comunidades equitativas con posibilidades para todos. Y hoy también, entonces, es un día de posibilidades, es un día de inspiración. Es el reflejo de las posibilidades, los sueños que podemos alcanzar y el futuro que podemos alcanzar si hacemos respetar nuestras voces. Es un día para celebrar la resiliencia y la fuerza que tenemos cuando estamos juntas, cuando luchamos juntas y seguiremos luchando juntas. También es para recordar que lo personal es político, lo personal es político. Esta es la lucha de todas, la causa es de todos, el futuro de las próximas generaciones, las generaciones de nuestros hijos está en riesgo. No hay lugar para el cambio si nosotros no formamos parte del esfuerzo colectivo para construir las mejores condiciones sociales para todos. Por eso, todos los miembros de la Comisión de Mujeres nos sentimos honradas y nos encontramos frente a hoy para también pedirles su apoyo. Necesitamos que se unan a nuestro trabajo, que se unan a nuestra defensa y que luchen junto con nosotros por el futuro en el que cada mujer y cada familia tenga la oportunidad de prosperar. Solo continuaremos construyendo el progreso que hemos logrado si lo hacemos juntas y si lo hacemos juntos. Sigamos siendo la fuerza de cambio, sigamos haciendo que nuestras voces se escuchen y sigamos construyendo un mundo mejor y más justo para todas y todos. Muchas gracias. I will now introduce our City Manager, Fidel Montes.
Muchas gracias, Lourdes, y a todas ustedes de que están aquí y por su trabajo inmenso para mejorar a nuestra comunidad. Thank you for being here this morning of what is going to be a very active month to celebrate our Women's Commission. I had the pleasure yesterday to be with a few of us who were here today at an amazing event last night. It was the St. Patrick's Potluck Dinner that was hosted by our senator. And in that dinner, I think it really showed me how special Massachusetts is and how special the greater Boston area is. Our governor, Maura Healey, obviously is on a road tour at the moment, and she's really championing our values right now, right? And how special this fight is that we are going to continue. She said last night that Massachusetts has never stood for a king, and Massachusetts will continue to lead the way for this fight of freedom and equality. At the dinner as well was Mayor Michelle Wu, right? And we all chanted, "Give them hell, Michelle," right? And it's just so amazing the amount of leadership that exists in Massachusetts, and the fact that that leadership is female, is women. Here in Chelsea, I can truly say that it is similar. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. Giants like Molly Baldwin, giants like our state rep who have done the work for generations. And this work is far from over. And I know that this work is also cyclical, right? It's going to swing, but we our duty is to answer the call whenever it is our time to fight. I am so impressed with the work of our city council and how intentional our leadership is. Our council president couldn't be here today, but she is a very strong advocate of women and also of immigrant rights. In this administration, the level of leadership that we are proud to hold is amazing. And please know that Chelsea continues to fight. Chelsea will continue to stand with everyone in our community. And now it is my honor to introduce our state rep to the session.
Thank you very much, City Manager. Good morning, buenos dias. Happy International Women's Day. I am so proud and delighted to be here, and I want to take a moment to really bring it back to Chelsea, because today we are celebrating the incredible contributions of all the women of Chelsea and this community. So I want to applaud you for the amazing work that all of you do every single day as public safety officers, as businesswomen, as mothers, as aunts, as elected officials, as pastors. You all contribute to the success of this community and this Commonwealth. I also want to take a moment to recognize the leaders in this room, the city councilors. I see City Councilor Lisa Santagate, City Councilor at Large, Mr. Leo Robinson. You know, I started my career in politics at 22 years old as a member of this honorable city council, and it was our council that started the conversations about creating a platform and an opportunity to really advance equity and advance a platform for all women and girls. But it was this city council, the members who are here today, under the leadership of Fidel Maltese, that made that vision into a reality. And now we have an incredible commission. I see some of them present here. Can you raise your hands? Thank you. A big round of applause for all of you. I also see City Councilor Melinda Vega, who just stepped in. She's here. Thank you, City Councilor, for being a part of this historic moment. So I want to acknowledge all of you for the amazing work that you're doing, for really taking the step to make events like this possible and to continue advocating for all the women and girls of our community. That being said, I also want to acknowledge the chair, Lourdes Chavez Alvarez. Oops, sorry, Lourdes Alvarez. I have no doubt that this commission will do amazing work thanks to your leadership. So thank you so much. And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for, it is my great honor to introduce today's keynote speaker in celebration of International Women's Day, in celebration of Women History Month, Allison Cartwright, a true trailblazer in Massachusetts' legal system. Allison made history as the second woman and first Black person elected clerk of the Supreme Judicial Court for Suffolk County. Woo! With over 30 years of legal experience, she has championed fairness and equity, advocating for children, immigrants, and those in recovery. In her role as clerk, she oversees judicial reviews, bar admissions, and attorney disciplinary cases, ensuring integrity in our justice system. She's been recognized and endorsed by leaders like Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Attorney General Andrea Campbell, and Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. and I'm proud to add my name to that list of endorsers. So it is my great honor in welcoming Allison S. Cartwright. Thank you so much.
So I feel a whole lot of pressure, but I am so very happy to be here. Good morning, Chelsea. Good morning to the women and the girls of Chelsea. Happy International Day to Women's Day to you. And I want to give a special shout out to the Chelsea Women's Commission. This is you have just completed your first year, and so very proud of you and the work that you've done and the work that you will continue to do. So let's give a real hand to the Women's Commission. And to your city manager, your city council, your other elected officials, thank you for the work that you're doing in Chelsea and fighting for the rights of those who deserve to be listened to. I'm a little bit off speech already, and that's what happens when you feel inspired. As many of you know, this week Boston Mayor Michelle Wu went to Congress and spoke before their oversight committee. She brought the heat, didn't she? Yes. And I know she was, one of the chants was telling people Boston is your home. Well, today, I'm here to say Chelsea is your home. And now that I, work with the Supreme Judicial Court, our state's highest court, that is the court that has come down and said, no, we will, Massachusetts law enforcement does not have the right to detain people on civil warrants. You must have a criminal warrant in order to be held. We will not do the work of the federal government. Excuse me. So, again, we are fighting for your rights, and we will continue to do so. To do that which is right, we will follow the law, we will follow the Constitution of the United States of America, and we will follow the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and its Declaration of Rights. So, standing here before you today, I could never imagine it. How could this woman who was born to a U.S. soldier, my father was in the Army, how did this woman, born on a military base in West Germany, which is now Germany, so I'm dating myself, how does this woman become the first black person in over 332 years to serve as clerk of the Supreme Judicial Court? How does that happen? It happens because of people like you. People want to say, oh, congratulations, Allison. It wasn't just me. It was being ready, being in the moment, and having the support of people who thought likewise. So thank you. So as I said, I'm an Army brat. I'm the second of 4 children born to my parents. All of us were, for whatever odd reason, we were all born in West Germany. My older sister and I were born in Heidelberg. My younger brother and sister were born in Stuttgart. Growing up on Army bases, at that time, it was a very integrated society. So I grew up playing with children who were white, black, Filipino, German, and a mixture of all kinds of things as you can imagine. Korean, you name it. And it was a good childhood, but the one thing the Army schools did in their educational system, they were testing us all the time. I don't know if we were guinea pigs or what that meant, but what it did was it prepared me in how to be able to be a good test taker, to focus on education. So those lessons later served me well in life. When in high school, when you have to take the SAT, the Scholastic Aptitude Test, that helped. It helped in college placements. Sometimes when you go to college, they're placing you to see whether or not you will test out introductory courses or not. Learning how to take tests helped. When I wanted to go to law school, the law school admissions test, again, very helpful. And most finally, when I had to take the bar exam to become an attorney, being able to do that helped me tremendously. So to the young mothers out here, I say to you, please focus on your children's education, and especially your daughter's educations.
Yes.
That is very important. That will serve your daughters well in their futures. So again, take advantage. There are many programs that offer after-school tutorial services. Take that. Teach your daughters. Arm them so that when they go out into the world, they are warriors and they are ready. And also, as part of my story, yes, racism was something that I had to learn how to confront, how to deal with. And at some point, my parents divorced, and we moved to Okemos, Michigan. Now, both of my parents were from Detroit, so, you know, the Michigan part, I get. Okemos, Michigan is just how it sounds. It was a town, it's not a city, but it was an affluent town just outside of Lansing, Michigan, the state capital. It was predominantly white. I was the only black woman in my class from the time I went there in 7th grade till I graduated high school. It is what it is, right? I did have a good time in Okemos. They had a very good school system. I played sports. So the fact that I played basketball, ran track, and I was, imagine me a little slimmer than this, and more athletic. So that made me a little more acceptable in that particular town. And I did well academically, but there was, sometimes it was ignorance, sometimes it might have been out and out racism. I was questioned all the time, like how, you know, some teachers, you know, evidencing surprise that, you know, I did well on an exam or in their class. But I did have others who encouraged me, who pushed me to excel. And sometimes when people are pushing you, it may look and seem unfair to you. But I tell you, women, question yourself. Ask in that moment, is this teacher, is this unofficial mentor being really mean on me? Or is this someone who is definitely trying to push me and is in my corner? I had a teacher who pushed me, and it was in Latin of all courses, right? And at the time, by the 3rd year, my junior year, there were only 2 people in the entire school taking Latin. And by my senior year, I was the only one. But she pushed me, she believed in me, and that helped me. That helped me to see there are allies out there. There are people who will push you and that will lift you. So I also tell you, look, know the difference. Treasure those people who are in your corner. And there, you will find that there are plenty of people in your corner. This is the day we're talking about women, and the people who pushed and lifted me the most in my life were women. So with my mother, but I also had a great aunt. Her name was Jessie Slayton. Now, picture this. Aunt Jessie, she always reminded me of Sojourner Truth. She was tall, she was very dark complexion, and she had a really strong, one of those strong, almost gravelly type voices, almost like a Maya Angelou, right? And she was my shero. She taught school with the Detroit Public Schools for over 20 years in special education. And then she decided to pursue something she had always thought about, law school. So in her 40s, she entered law school. She became a lawyer and later a judge. That was Aunt Jessie. That was what I was watching. And she used, it didn't hurt that she used to pay me for grades. It's like if you get an A, you get $5. And you get a B, back then that was big money. Incentives are always a good thing. So I grew up always telling everyone, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a physician. So on and so forth. I went to college. I went to the University of Michigan. I'm pre-med. I'm going to be a doctor. Well, somewhere around my sophomore year, early sophomore year, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like these science classes. I like my English classes. So I talked to a counselor and gave myself permission to change my mind, change my direction. I ended up majoring in English and psychology. And with that, I got a job working for the state of Michigan in their Bureau of History. I was an assistant editor of a magazine, and I was an assistant archivist. They also offered, at that time, the state of Michigan offered tuition reimbursement. So I decided to go to graduate school on their dime and earned my master's degree. But again, somewhere along the line, I realized I really do want to pursue this law thing. Now, what I didn't tell you was at the beginning of my senior year in college, my Aunt Jessie died in a plane crash. Well, it wasn't a plane crash. And for those of you who might be old enough to remember, KAL 007, so that's Korean Airlines Flight 007, was missiled down by the Soviets on September 1, 1983. So that was devastating, and my plans for law school, it was all I could do to get through my senior year and finish college. So I put that on the back burner and suppressed it. But it came back up. It was nagging at me. So I quit my job, state job that I had for about 4 years, and came to Boston to go to Boston College Law School. Again, here's another little lesson for you. Always give yourself grace and permission as women to redirect.
Yes.
And to pursue your dreams. Sometimes there may be detours along the way. There will be. Sometimes people have to stop because you have children or you have to take care of a family member. Don't let that be the end of your story. If you have dreams, start positioning yourself and making a plan on how you're going to realize those dreams. So again, I come here, I go to law school, and I tell myself, I want to get into publishing, or I'll work for a law firm. I'll do anything except criminal law. I don't want to be involved in that. Okay, again, change, right? I happened to be working one summer for the Honorable Joyce London Alexander. She was the first black woman to be a United States magistrate judge. She hails from Cambridge, so not too far from here, right? So I was working for her one summer of law school, and whenever we had criminal cases, just something in me, I would watch folks standing there who had to be appointed counsel most of the time because they couldn't afford to hire attorneys. Attorneys are expensive. And something in me, it just resonated with me. That's what I need to do. So I switched up and I became a public defender. One of the best decisions I ever made. I got to represent people charged with crimes, and you are not the sum total of one bad mistake, two bad mistakes. So I got to work with juveniles, adults, families who were in crisis, who needed help, who felt that the whole legal system was upon them. And I want to tell you, public defenders sometimes get a really bad rap, but they are some damn good attorneys. And they will fight. When you walk in a courtroom, it is the Commonwealth versus this one person. Think about that. The Commonwealth. That is the whole might and brunt of the state against one person. I'm a woman, I'm a black woman, a woman of color. I know how to fight, and that's what I did for each and every one of my clients. I fought for them. I made sure that their constitutional rights were protected at each and every turn. That's what I did. And I also opened up my own practice. So when I opened up my own practice, I not only did criminal defense, I continued to accept court-appointed cases and represent poor people, because that is really where my passion was and still is. Even in my capacity now, I am able to help people who are in need. So I leave you with this. Women, it is never too late. Young girls, have your dreams, have your plans. Talk to the other women around you. There are inspiring women in this room alone who will help you. Seek them out. You can have those things that you've dreamed about. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Allow yourself to make detours here and there so that you can reach whatever is to be your ultimate goal. So I do have something very special that I would like to present to Ms. Alvarado from the Women's Commission. Okay. You know how it is. You grow up, you're never supposed to go into someone's home without bringing something. So I am in your home. I thank you for inviting me here today. I hope I have helped some of you with my story, because your story is going to be unique to you. But I do ask that you always try to pursue your dreams. Women, we're always told that we don't put ourselves first. Well, sometimes you have to be. When you're on that airplane, what do they tell you? Put your mask on first. You cannot help anyone else if you are not strong and healthy. So, anyway, I digress, but I do have a certificate of recognition to the Chelsea Women's Commission. On this occasion of the Chelsea International Women's Day celebration, and the completion of the first year of existence of the City of Chelsea's Women's Commission. The Chelsea's Women's Commission is recognized for its mission to commit to equity and access for the women and girls of Chelsea. Further, the Chelsea Women's Commission is recognized for being intentional, and that's the language I took from your mission. Intentional in its mandate to study, review, and report on the status of women and girls to the leaders in local government, business, education, and the media. Additionally, the Chelsea Women's Commission is recognized for its charge to identify and recommend qualified women for appointed positions in Chelsea government. The Clerk's Office of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court for the County of Suffolk applauds the mission and work of the City of Chelsea's Women's Commission, dated this 8th day of March, 2025.
Wow, so thank you. Thank you so much. We are speechless. Thank you for all your works. Thank you for your work, for your inspiration. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for pushing yourself. And thank you for sharing such a powerful story.